Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about the topic International Monetary Fund. So International Monetary Fund it's an organization which is working to foster the global monetary cooperation, right? To secure the financial stability, to facilitate international trade, to promote high employment, and for the sustainable economic growth and reduce the poverty around the world, right? So IMF comprises of few member nations or member countries, which is almost you can say 189 countries are the participants or member nations of the International Monetary Fund, and they contribute their capital also, and they have made this International Monetary Fund. And whosoever country needs to correct or accurate their balance of payment position, suppose if they face problem regarding to pay the other countries regarding the imports and regarding to correct their BOP kind of situation, so they can take help from the International Monetary Fund, which is basically works to foster the global growth and for the economic stability and to boost up the trade among the member nations smoothly, right? So in the next slide, I'm showing you about the overview of the, we have done the overview. So it is basically comprises of 189 countries, right? So it tracks the global economic trends and performances and alert its member countries to follow the same platform among all the member nations so that they can work smoothly. Yes. So next is IMF supports its membership by providing number one, you can see here the policy advice to governments. No doubt they give the policy advice to governments and central banks. They help the other countries by giving the help in the research, statistics, forecast, and analysis based on tracking of global, regional, and individual economies. They give loan to help the countries to overcome their economic difficulties, which is the most important part of the IMF. They also provide the concessional loans to help fight poverty in the developing countries like India. So they also provide the technical assistance and training to help countries to improve their management of their economies, right? So the next slide is about what are the objectives of IMF. This is the most important topic. The most important objective of IMF is to promote the international monetary cooperation, no doubt. So any country, any member nation who is facing the problem regarding the finances, regarding the any kind of economic difficulty, economic instability, so they could take the help of IMF and they can take the concessional loans to the member nations, especially the countries like developing countries like India. So the second one is to facilitate the expansion and balanced growth of international trade. This is a very easy point. Everyone knows that. What do you mean by expansion of the country? What do you mean by the balanced growth of the country, right? So to promote the exchange rate stability, in my many lectures I have already explained you what do you mean by exchange rate stability. Exchange rate means the rate between the two countries when they are trading with each other. So what is the rate? So we have to stabilize that rate. Otherwise what happened, the exchange rate is unstable, then there are fluctuations, the chances are more to pay more, right? Then next one is to make its resources available to its members who are experiencing BOP problems. No doubt it basically works for the balance of payment situation problems. If you are facing any kind of inaccurate BOP kind of situation, so you are required to take the help from IMF. So the last one is to establish a multilateral system of payments. Means here the multilateral system of payments are there. Then next one is conditionality, means what are the conditions. So the IMF lends to its member countries by ensuring that members are pursuing policies that will improve external payment problems. Means IMF lends loan or lends it help, technical or other kind of financial help to those countries who are or which are actually facing the problem regarding the payment problems, balance of payment kind of issues are there. So to naturally, if you are taking help, so it is a conditionality that you have to repay in the time, on a proper time, right? So commitment to implement corrective measures means whatever help you have taken, so you have to correct it also in your later on areas. Then membership, here I have wrongly written is 186, it is 189 countries, right? So to become a member, a country must apply and then be accepted by a majority of existing members. I guess there is no issue in that. So upon joining, each member of the IMS is assigned a quota, right? A quota is given, which is broadly based on its size of the world economy, means size of the country in the world economy, right? There is a one point which is basically issued or which is raised up in the IMF, that is SDR. SDR stands for special drawing rights. So SDR means it is an international reserve asset, right? So what happens in the SDR, that value of SDR is based on basket of major currencies used in international business, and weightage is assigned showing the relative importance, right? So it is basically more stable kind of. So many of the countries which are the member nations of IMF, they are eligible for SDR special, they enjoy or they have the special drawing rights, right? Next is subscription, means a member quota subscription determines the maximum amount of financial resources the member is obliged to provide to the IMF. Means here the member nations come or participate in the IMF with some capital or with some subscription, which is called as financial resources for the IMF. Then a member must pay its subscription in full upon joining the IMF, no doubt. Up to the 25% must be paid in the IMF own currency, which is the own currency of IMF. Must means you have to pay your subscription 25% in the IMF currency, which is called as SDR, special drawing right, or which is also called as widely accepted currencies, such as dollar is widely accepted, euro is widely accepted, yen, pound sterling, they are widely accepted, while the rest can be paid in the member's own country, own currency, uh, in which you belong, or the currency which is prevailing in your own country, right? So the next one is structure of the IMF is like, it comprises of board of governors who are the highest decision making power or body of IMF. Board of governors again consists of one governor and one alternate governor for each member nation, right? And what happens, the governor is appointed by the member country, and basically who will be the governor of the member country, basically the finance minister, minister of finance, and the head of the central bank are the governors of the member country, right? Second is the board of governors of the IMF and the World Bank group, normally they meet once a year, right? Board of governors has delegated most of its power to IMF executive board, and they retain the right to approve the quota increases, SDR allocations, the admittance of new members, admittance of new members, compulsory withdrawal of members, and amendments to the article of agreement, bylaws. So the all rights are given to the board of governors, right? So government structure is like that. Ministerial committees, the IMF board of governors is advised by two ministerial committees like IMFC and development committees. The IMFC has 24 members drawn from the pool of 186 governors. It's 189 governors actually. I have written very wrong here. So the executive board, the IMF's 24 member executive board takes care of the daily business of the IMF. So together these 24 board members, they represent all the 189 member nations. So that's all for the today's lecture. Thank you so much.